got some breaking news. The Las Vegas Raiders have gone out and they have signed safety Jeremy Chinn to a 2-year, $16 million deal. I'm telling you this right now. If you're a Raiders fan, you got to think, I am able to replace Trevon Merrick and Marcus Epps with a player like Chinn for 2 years and $16 million. Coming up here on today's show, I'm going to tell you everything you needed to know about this contract, everything you need to know in terms of what I think about it. I'm going to give it a grade. I'm going to give it a one-word reaction. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to tell you all the moves that the Raiders have made and some moves that I would like for them to make on top of that. But there was a lot of people. I saw the live show. There was a lot of people panicking. Man, the Raiders aren't doing this. We're sitting back. We're being too easy. If I would have told you the Raiders traded for Geno Smith, went out and re-signed Adam Butler, and made this move right here, everybody would sit up here and go, the Raiders are absolutely, positively killing it. And this is a great move by Chinn. I get the fact that you're not going to be able to replace both Epps and Merrick with somebody like Jeremy Chinn, but you did it at a discounted price where Merrick wasn't a true cover safety. Marcus Epps played near the line of scrimmage, and for an organization that thought that they were also going to lose out maybe on a player on Nate Hobbs, also going to lose out on your safeties, for you to be able to retain Isaiah Paul-Amal and you're able to keep Jeremy Chinn at a total value of $12 million combined, which is still cheaper than what Trevon Merrick got by $5 million. He got 3 for $51. The Raiders did this in a very smart way simply because of also the fit that Jeremy Chinn is with the Raiders. So here's going to be the pinned comment on today's show. I want you to grade the signing of the Raiders adding Chinn 2 years, a $16 million, $8 million per year. It's an A, B, C, D, or F. My answer is going to be coming up here after this YouTube ad break. So while that ad is playing, I want you to scroll on down. And we all went to school, right? So please go down there and give me your grade. I think whoever made our grades went to AA. I'm going to say it's an A- grade that can turn into an A grade. How about that? And I think that it can turn into an A grade if you add the right safety. If the Raiders go out and they get a Javon Holland and you add a true center fielder next to an Isaiah Paul-Amal, next to a Jeremy Chinn, then I think that that is a true A signing here for Chinn. If the Raiders' idea is to only use Jeremy Chinn and Isaiah Paul-Amal as their starting safeties, well then I'm going to be real. This is more of like a B+ or B- move to me then, because you still need a true guy that can drop back. What Chinn is really good at is getting close to the line of scrimmage, being a versatile player in that regard. One of my favorite players that I ever got the opportunity to watch, and it's not quite the same. This is same, but different. Jabril Peppers with Patrick Graham back a few years ago was a very versatile safety, and that had a lot of good work with him. I also think you saw a guy like Marcus Epps. They gave him a captain status. They showed why he could be a really solid player, and Jeremy Chinn, to me, is a better version and a younger version of Epps. Look at the years. He is a tackler. He is not afraid to go downhill. He's not afraid to put his chin on a helmet, and he's not afraid to really wrap you up. Since the year 2020, Jeremy Chinn has the second most tackles made at the safety spot. Since the year 2020, listen to this, 138 defensive stops, second most among all safeties since the year of 2020. This is a guy who can really help you out in your run game, which is why, as you can see on screen, that quarterback rating against them, sometimes teams pick on him in the passing game, but if you're a smart defense, don't always allow that ability. Use him as a safety near the line of scrimmage, where I honestly think the way that John Gruden wanted Jonathan Abram to work is the way that Jeremy Chinn actually plays. The other thing that you got to do, and I think that the Raiders know this because Chinn's coming off arguably a career year with Dan Quinn, with the Washington Commanders. Dan Quinn, relationships matter, we know that, was the defensive coordinator for Pete Carroll many years down there in Seattle. And it's obviously not like the exact same system that they're running, but knowing that he was able to have that good of a year underneath Dan Quinn, I know for a fact, spoke volumes to Pete Carroll and that regime. You can't tell me that it didn't happen. So based on the relationship, based on the fit, you still need to go out and you need to add somebody in free agency that can be that center fielder. But at the value of 2 for $16, John Spytek, Pete Carroll, this regime just continues to act like a smart regime. If you want to hang out with me, I am live right now, and we got over 5,000 other Raiders fans on our live show right now, rocking and rolling with us. When the Raiders make a move, you're going to get a video. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure those notifications are turned on, because anytime the Raiders make a move, I am dropping a video around that bad boy. So again, with Jeremy Chinn joining the Raiders, 6'3", 220-pounder, 2024, had 117 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, an interception, and 5 pass breakups. Some of you might be wondering, okay, Mitch, what does our depth chart look like now with Jeremy Chinn? So the depth chart that you see on screen is what it was at the start of today. The Raiders on the right side still have Trey Taylor, who they drafted in the 7th round out of Air Force, who was the Jim Thorpe Award winner. You have T. Harper, who also on the team right now, not just a depth guy. Isaiah Paul-Lamau, who you're able to bring back. Chris Smith, 5th rounder out of Georgia, different regime. We'll see what ends up happening to him. Marcus Epps tore his ACL last season. He's a free agent. And then Trevon Merrick, who we've been talking about, he signed a 3-year, $51 million deal with the Carolina Panthers. So you need to be able to go out there and replace him. The name that I think that Chinn replaces is Marcus Epps. I don't want people to think that this is a Isaiah Paul-Lamau and Jeremy Chinn safety duo, because I'll be real, I don't think that that's all that smart of an idea, but I do think that if you're able to really go with 3 safeties again, and that's what the Raiders tried to do. They tried to implement 3 safeties, and they did it a lot. It's what PG's done his entire career, using versatile safeties. But if you're able to go out and get a Javon Holland, Jeremy Chinn, and Isaiah Paul-Lamau, I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to look at all y'all and go, our safeties got better. In a year that I was concerned that the safeties would get worse, you go out, you add a player in Chinn, somebody that I had in my video, which I'm telling you right now, the Raiders, the moves that they've made, maybe they watch the Raiders Report. I know Mark Davis watches from time to time, and Mark, I can't wait to meet you here in a few weeks, but at the same time, I know that Jeremy Chinn was a player that I talked about in my best value free agents video. He was on that. My best value free agent at defensive tackle, Adam Butler. So the fact that they're bringing in players that have really solid value, that can also contribute right away, that fit your culture, is a massive, massive win for this organization. And I could not be more proud that they are just finally doing things like a smart organization does those things. If anybody out there needs a Raiders jersey, you can go to chatsports.com/Raiders jersey. You can get a Brock Bowers, a Max Crosby. I will tell you this. I know people sometimes get worried about getting Raiders jerseys, because I had one of my buddies, he sent me a video, and I'll never forget it. It was last year. It was last year when Devontae got traded, and it was literally a video of him being like Devontae Adams jersey, followed by, it was Darren Waller, followed by Josh Jacobs, followed by Henry Ruggs, followed by Cleveland Ferrell, and it was just like one after another after another. And I was like, all right, that guy's gone through some serious jerseys. But if you get a jersey from us at chatsports.com/Raiders jerseys, there is a button that you can click, and if you click on it, it says jersey insurance. So essentially, if a player gets cut, if a player gets traded, you can actually trade in your jersey, and they will give you a brand new one. I'm not going to give you a brand one. They're going to give you a brand new one. Chatsports.com/Raiders jerseys is where you can go. They also have Howie Longs, Bo Jackson, Charles Woodson, a bunch of the great ones out there. If you need some extra toilet paper because, I don't know, you're running a little bit low, they do have a Darren Waller jersey there, which for $14. Let's go to Jeremy Chinn, back to him, the man of the hour. The Las Vegas Raiders, again, 2 years, $16 million. I don't know if we have gotten the exact, guarantees in that contract, but it's obviously not going to be too much money. It's just the overall fit is so good. I mean, it's just such a good fit here for the Raiders. So you know what? I want to know down below, what is y'all's one-word reaction to the signing of Jeremy Chinn to the Raiders at 2 for $16? My one word is value. And it's got to be value, because he's a valuable player on this defense. The Raiders value relationships, and 2 for $16 is good value. And that's how you're going to be able to build this team. When you go out and you trade for a quarterback like Geno, I still want the Raiders to try to sign a Byron Murphy. I want the Raiders to go out and try to get a Javon Holland. But if you want to spend on those type of big players and go out and trade for a quarterback that you're about to pay 40 to 45, you got to be able to hit on Adam Butler. I know that the Raiders are excited about Alex Kappa. I'm not afraid to admit it. I think he was really bad last season. Maybe he's just got to be with John Spytek, and maybe, I don't know, the Bengals were just not a good fit for him overall. We've seen stuff like that happen in the past. But you need guys like Alex Kappa to step up. You need Adam Butler to do exactly what he did last season. But you also need to be able to go out and sign players like Jeremy Chinn that are valuable starters in the NFL and help you at safety where, I mean, if I would have told you the Raiders, I mean, I think he's an upgrade over Marcus Epps. Healthy Marcus Epps, maybe not, but he's an upgrade over Marcus Epps. And I really think that you're going to see somebody play a role, and I'm going to throw out this name, and I don't want people to just assume that this is the role that he's going to play. But at the exact same time, right, we always got to think about teams and what they've done before. All I'm going to say is this. Can you go to the player bio real quick on Jeremy Chinn for me? Sometimes I think teams like to recreate, okay? Sometimes I think teams like to recreate. Jeremy Chinn is 6'3", 220 pounds. Downfield thumper at the safety position. Who's that sound like? Sounds a lot like Cam Chancellor, who also was 6'3", 225 pounds, a down-the-field safety that absolutely tried to light you up. I get football's a lot different than what it was, but I also think that the NFL can be at times a little bit of a copycat league, where there was a time where NFL teams were going a lot of nickel bases because teams were spreading you out giggity and they were picking you apart throwing the football. If you notice, there are some teams that are kind of now going a little bit more run heavy. Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, and some of these teams are really trying to beat you with what I like to call FU football. Jeremy Chinn helps you in the middle of that field, especially on a team that just lost Robert Spillane. I get he's not a linebacker, Chinn, but losing somebody like Spillane, you need somebody that has a nose for the football, that has had over 100 tackles 3 out of the last 4 seasons, that has a relationship with Dan Quinn, that is a young player, that is a versatile safety in his own right, being able to play near the box and being able to move all around the field. Jeremy Chinn is a really good move for this Raiders defense at 2 years, $16 million. So hopefully everybody out there that was hitting that panic button early on that the Raiders aren't doing anything, let's take a deep breath and let's continue to show faith in this Raiders organization, because I get it. John Gruden and Mike Mayock didn't give you a lot to believe about. I get it. Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler didn't give you a lot to believe about. Antonio Pierce, Tom Telesco didn't give you a lot of things to believe about. But this organization has showed you all offseason that they are operating different, and they are operating like a smart organization does. And this is Jeremy Chinn move is another perfect example of them just operating as a smart organization. Didn't overpay, trusted their guns, and they went out and got a guy that's going to help you replace Robert Spillane, that could maybe be a next Cam Chancellor, that's going to be able to be a replacement for Trevon Merrick, Marcus Epps at a fraction of the price, that has a good relationship with Pete Carroll. I absolutely love it. If you want to interact with me on social media, I am at Mitchell Renz 365. Seriously, Instagram, maybe not Twitter. Twitter's been absolutely dog shit today. But you know what's not dog shit? Going out and getting Jeremy Chinn for 2 years, $16 million. If you made it this far in the video, you better know. We're live here on the Raiders Report. Over 5,000 people have tuned in. We're going to get over 100,000 people on today's live show in general. If you missed tailgating and partying in Oakland, pull up to the Raiders Report. I'm going to do my best to remind you. I can't provide the smells. As Jimmy Johns would say, not a sponsor. Those smells are free. The smells of the lot, man. I got high hopes for this show, but there's nothing in the world that can get us that high of hopes. I miss Oakland. Shout out to all y'all. Jeremy Chinn, welcome to the nation.